how we make it through this week, the suggested remedy of how we deal with what is coming. So each week I'm adding, not only that we're reviewing and looking at all the things and the energies of what to kind of expect or see in our lives, I want to give you some tips on how to make it through it and some of the best processes and procedures to do with the energy of that week. So our survival this week is the Dharana. We have talked about this before if you followed. And this is the sixth limb in the 8 limbs of yoga. And I've been talking about how there is 8 limbs. It's not just the physical poses. You've got breath work. We've got yamas and niyamas. We've got the pratyahara. We got the dhyanas and the samiti. We've got all these parts that the full experience of yoga. And using these tools are here. They're tools to assist you. So as we go into this week's the Dharana, it is concentrated focus on a single point of attention. So that is going to be your best practice for this week. It's holding the mind on one object, one intention, one point without letting it get scattered. We're withdrawing from the noise and then we're focusing on one thing, even just for a few moments. Dharana says, now that we're going inward, focus. Mars is entering Gemini tonight. The moon is scattered with mental energy, multiple tabs open, too many directions at once. The Mercury retrograde is beginning tomorrow. The prescription is not to push harder, it's to focus on fewer things, but with real depth and presence. So just putting that attention on maybe the most important things you need to focus on versus all the scattered ideas, which is, again, the whole focus of the Dharana. So we're going to do a quick practice and then we're going to jump into the overview of each of the days this week. So sit comfortably. Make sure if you are driving, do not close your eyes. You can just listen with your ears, but keep yourself focused and make sure you're safe. So if you're a safe place, let's close your eyes. And we're going to focus on one point tonight. I want you to focus on the inhale. So every time you exhale, we're just noticing. We're going to specifically notice and bring our energy into our inhale. So for these next 60 seconds, the only thing you need to do is just every time the inhale comes in, notice it. On the next inhale, notice it as well. Take a deep breath in and let the focus wander away. Mercury is about to go retrograde in the sign of home and emotional life. The mind is about to want to revisit, second guess, and spiral. Dharana gives you the tool to hold your focus when everything inside you wants to scatter. One point, return to it, and that is the entire practice. Did I lose you, Mike? Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Well, what can somebody look for inside of a busy week if you can't carve out the practice time? Well, before we just to give you guys that tip, how you do that is just add a few moments. That's all you need to be. Is just be present for a few moments. Doesn't have to be a long time. You can set a timer for 10 seconds. You can set a focus of 5 breaths to be just sending your attention on or whatever you're going to put your focus on and make it just something very short and just give you that moment of clarity. Overall, how did the practice feel?
It's nice to close my eyes and take a couple of deep breaths in. So,
It's a little harder to come back after, hey?
oh, it's definitely harder. It's like, oh, and then you're expecting me to like read the, be, be the first one to speak after that practice. And I was like, just I. I've mentioned this before. If there's any type of breath work, I enjoy that type of stuff. I may not come back right after that. At least I'm not snoring on camera. Could be worse.
Okay, in 60 seconds, I guess. If you're that exhausted, you're just out.
You
But
know
that
what?
is
That would happen if I was laying on the floor doing a yoga pose. I may be out like that. So
and every time you practice, it's always a different experience. And sometimes that is an experience when you
trying
get
to
super
share.
relaxed.
Finish up.
Exactly.
You
Don't
trying to
don't worry about it because most of the time when you're just when you're making that mental or taking that time to take that moment, most of the time it's active. It's very much like I'm just going to take that breath for these 5 breaths, notice it for those 5 breaths and move on. But yes, sometimes when you're really relaxed and then you do it, then you just disappear.
that's called the siesta time.
That's right for
So
oh.
yeah,
So
that
you
was that was what Julie asked me was the question for the chat. How did the practice make you feel? I gave my response.